So good afternoon, everyone. I think we can start. We can kick off this this short webinar. So thank you for those who have joined, and if you're here, it means that you probably are already familiar with GIS, or you are curious to know more about GIS for school. So really, I'm pleased to welcome you at this webinar, and would like also to welcome the three guests, the three speakers that we have today. So we have Elisa Filippi, Daniela Carrion, and Emilia Budau. They will guide you a little bit through what is GIS for school, the training package, and of course the e-learning platform. So just for your information, this webinar is recorded, so we will also share. We will do some editing, of course, and sharing the recording through our social media and the GIS for School website. So in case you want to rewatch it, or just in case you want to then share it afterwards, please do it, and also get in touch with us for any comments or questions. We will have a Q&A session towards the end of this webinar, so don't hesitate in using the chat. We will be then collecting all the questions you might have, and then present it to the speakers at the end of this session. I would like to immediately start, and I would start directly probably with an introduction on GIS for schools. I don't know how many people are here familiar with the project. So to guide you a little bit through, I would like to start immediately giving the floor to Elisa Filippi. Elisa Filippi is project manager and co-founder of Euronique, and also she's the representative of the leading partner of the GIS for School project. Elisa has an international background studies. She specialized in analysis and policies of local and regional development at the University of Florence. She has more than 10 years experience in designing and management of European projects, especially in the field of urban innovation, resilience, and sustainability. Elisa, you have the floor to welcome our guests in the GIS for School project. Thank you very much. And
good morning.
You should be able to, yes, exactly.
Yes. Thanks, Alessandra. Right now I'm able. So good afternoon, everyone. And thanks again, Alessandra, for this introduction to me and to the project and to the webinar. So hi again to everyone, and really thanks to participating to this launch of the e-learning platform developed by the GIS for Schools project. As Alessandra said, my task now is to introduce you very briefly to the GIS for School project. So I will share now my presentation. Okay, I hope you can see.
We can.
Okay, great. So well, with this project we have a very big ambition. We like to say that GIS for Schools is a project that prepared the future, and for us it's true. It's true in the sense that the project is actually addressed to the new generation. So 200 pupils from 4 secondary schools in different EU countries are the direct beneficiary of the project, and almost 1,000 pupils in Europe will be indirect beneficiary. It is true also because the project is focused on one of the most important and even concerning challenges nowadays, so the climate change and its impact on the environment. And the third reason is because the project tries to achieve these ambitious objectives by exploiting the EU investments, so public investments, in one of the most advanced sectors such as the space, geospace technologies. So before telling you which are actually our objectives and how we are going to achieve it, just 2 words to present who we are. GIS for Schools is, first of all, is a strategic partnership for innovation in the field of school education funded by the Erasmus Plus program from the European Commission. The project has a transnational and multi-stakeholder partnership of 10 organizations. Euronique, which I represent, is the lead partner. Euronique is an association based in Italy, focused on complex projects and EU projects design and management with a specific focus on science education, urban innovation, urban planning, and so on. But in our partnership, we also have the Politecnico of Milan, which is the main scientific partner of the project. And we also have 4 secondary schools from Italy, from Romania, from Spain, and from Portugal, and different associations active in many different fields, such as EUDISI, of course, focus on space technologies based in France, but also EAGLE in Portugal, and Urban 20 Blue Bubble World in Spain, and Urban 2020 in Romania, which also you will have the chance to know better today, thanks to the Emilia, because Urban 2020 was also responsible for the development of the e-learning platform that you today will know. So just a short comments on why GIS for Schools, so why we have thought to develop such a project. The project is based on some evidence. The first one, and the most important, is related to the status of the STEAM education in Europe. So we all are aware that still 20% of pupils in Europe today has difficulties in reading, in science, and in maths, and also that the number of graduated in Europe is still low, especially in some countries. So there is a strong need for improving STEAM education. And besides, we are also aware, as I said before, that climate change is now a very important challenge, and is also meeting the interest of many pupils of the young generation. The third evidence is related to the EU space, the EU investment in space. In example, we know that European Union invests a lot of resources in programs such as Copernicus, so the European programs for the Earth observations, which provides a lot of valuable data, so important for the monitoring of climate change, but also to better understand the environment in which we live. But we are at the same time aware that there is a difficulty in exploiting these data due to a lack of culture of data in the society. So, taking into consideration all these three different evidence, from the education to the climate change and to the need for also better exploit, provide tools in order to better exploit investment in programs such as Copernicus, but this is just an example. We have built this GIS for School project, which is the main objective of the project. The main goal is to develop a new approach for STEAM teaching methodologies, and in particular, our objective is to introduce for the first time in Europe in a structured way the teaching of the GIS technology into secondary schools, and at the same time to directly involve pupils in the development of a GIS output focus on climate challenges related to their local context. How are we going to do this? The project envisaged the development of a specific training package, which has been developed by the Politecnico of Milan, focused on the GIS technologies or addressed to secondary schools teachers, and then, as I said, the development of the GIS outputs by pupils, of course, supported by teachers and professors, university professors. So, from a structural way, we can say that the project has been conceived through two different development and transfer of knowledge. The first transfer of knowledge took place during the first year of the project. The project started in September 2020. So during the first year, actually during the first 6 months, the professors of the University of the Politecnico of Milan developed the training package on GIS. And then in March 2021, took place this first transfer of knowledge. So Politecnico of Milan organized with all the partners a training course addressed to the 24-26 teachers of the different schools involved in the project. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm sorry, the training course was held only in a virtual way, so online, but it lasts for 1 week. And during this week, the professor transferred to the teachers the main contents of the training package. Then the teachers trained transfer the contents they have acquired to the pupils in the classrooms through a 30 hours course between April to June or July 2021. So the first year was mainly focused on this theoretical transfer of knowledge and introduction to the GIS technologies. Then in October 2021, started the second phase of the project, where pupils were actually engaged in the development of the different GIS outputs, of course with the support of the teachers and also of the professor of the Politecnico of Milan, and also from the association, for the different association active in the different countries. About that, just one consideration. We analyzed, of course, the outcomes and also the level of satisfaction of the teachers with respect to the first training course, and we observed how the training was very effective. Because, first of all, the majority of the teachers, even though if they were teachers of, science, maths, in some cases ICT, geography, biology, so they have different backgrounds, but the majority of them has never dealt with GIS technology before, and also other matters such as Earth observation, remote sensing, but also data analysis and data representation. So according to our analysis and evaluation, the training was very effective from a theoretical point of view. At the same time, we observed, let's say, a need for improve also their practical competencies. And this is why we organize a second peer review training, which has been held in Rovereto, in Trentino, in December 2021. It was organized by the Eronica in cooperation with the Politecnico of Milan, hosted by the Italian school, and with the cooperation of all the partners. And this second peer review meeting was very important to allow the exchange of view, opinions, and experiences among the teachers, which were involved on the creation, on the planning of the GIS output. And coming to that, I'm very happy, pride to say that all the schools have actually worked a lot with the pupils, the teachers, pupils, on the development of these GIS outputs. Now almost the schools have completed this output, and they are going to replicate the case study they have analyzed on a developing country. So they will treat the same local challenge, the same climate challenges on a different area belonging to a developing country. I don't want to take too much time, but if you are curious, I will be very happy to share with you also the different topics that the different schools have chosen. So I will available for the Q&A session. And just another comment, which is very valuable for us, is that also the first feedbacks that we have collected from pupils through the digital diaries, diaries, which is a software, an open source software that Euronic developed to carry out the monitoring activities in real time. So according to this data, we can say that until now, the training carried out through the project was very valuable to increase the knowledge of the pupils, not only on the specific topic of GIS, but also to other subjects, especially maths and geography, which we think it's very, very important. And also we recorded a general improvement in the use of ICT, which if in the same country it could be for granted, because maybe the school had already an ICT focus. In other countries, in other schools, it is a very important result, because most of the pupils declared at the beginning of the project that they had never dealt with ICT before, because maybe there was more humanistic school. So we think that the results achieved until now are very encouraging, let's say. And now the last slide, just to talk about the future. Of course, the project is not ended, so we will have 1 year more to work on that. And mostly, we would like to make accessible and disseminate as much as possible all the knowledge tools that we have created with other schools, but also with other education organization, and of course other people from academia and practitioners. So I just want to remind that the training package has been translated into 6 different national languages, and we are really we really want to disseminate this tool with other schools in Europe and beyond. And I don't want to anticipate what Emilia will tell us now, but also we have built this valuable e-learning platform that we really would like to share with you. Our last goal is indeed to build this informal community of schools, educational institutions, and other stakeholders interested in GIS in Europe, and of course also beyond. So thanks a lot for your attention, and I will leave the floor again to Alessandra.
Thank you very much, Elisa. Thank you very much for this overview on the project. And now I would like to give the floor to Daniela Carrion from the Politecnico University of Milan. Daniela is assistant professor at Politecnico di Milano, teacher of GIS and geospatial data processing and mapping for crisis management. and she acquired expertise on crisis mapping during a 2-year post-graduate experience, and at the Joint Research Center ISPRA in Italy. And now she also performed technical scientific validation on emergency services and crisis maps. She's also co-chair of the Commission on Ubiquitous Mapping of International Cartography Association. So Daniela, now you should be able to present. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Alessandra, for your kind introduction. I'm going to share my presentation. Okay, so I'm going to introduce the training package that was already presented by Elisa Filippi. The training package was developed at Politecnico di Milano. We are a university in the northern part of Italy, in Milan. It is a quite well-ranked university towards Europe and the world, so we are quite happy of working in it. And this university is dedicated to engineering, architecture, and design. This is the team of Politecnico who was involved in the development of the training package and who is involved in the project. In particular, I would like to introduce Professor Maria Brovelli, who is Professor of GIS, and she is the responsible of this project. Myself was already introduced. Also Marco Gianinetto, who is Professor of Remote Sensing, which is another topic that was treated within the training package, and also Professor Ludovico Biagi, who is Professor of Positioning and Location-Based Services. We are involved in lots of associations regarding open source software and surveying, and you can find more details at the GIS GeoLab website. We are not working alone. We have a large team of young researchers who contribute to our work. Here you can see some of them, postdoc and assistant professors, as well as PhD students and research fellows, and lots of these young researchers were involved also in the development of the training package that I'm about to present. Just very briefly, these are the research topics that we in general deal with, which start from the open source geographic information systems to Earth observation, but also the management of big geodata, because we have lots of data nowadays that we need to treat, and it is a challenge to find processing ways and sharing also means to take advantage of this large amount of data. We work also on voluntary geographic information in citizen science, as well as geospatial data processing, but also the sharing of the data through the web and the applications to sustainable development. But let's go straight forward to the training package. The training package was designed on purpose for this project, for GIS for Schools. We had a huge challenge, which was to treat large and complex topics that we usually teach at university, try to make them as compact and simple as possible in order to pass the main concepts to the pupils of secondary schools, trying to keep everything that was needed and important in order to have a large picture. So we tried to make a sort of modular work so that it was possible to deepen the topics that were more interesting and to allow to have a more general overview of the basic concepts in case of this was the best option. Which are the topics that we have treated? You can find here the list of chapters that are included in the training package. We have data visualization with QGIS. QGIS is a GIS software which is quite well known. It is completely free and open source, and we have based all our exercises on this software so that everyone can download and use it. And it is also very well. It includes a very large community, so it has there is a lot of support that can be considered when this software is used. But also then to introduce the GIS and analysis tools, we have the second chapter. Then we enlarged also towards Earth observation and imagery analysis. So the topics regarding satellites and which types of satellites we have and which imagery can be acquired and how they can be used is the topic of this third chapter. Then we have a last chapter of geospatial data processing for crisis mapping, including also Copernicus Emergency Management Services, which is an application of Earth observation data for crisis mapping, and we are going to introduce this topic in a minute. As Elisa Filippi was saying, the training package was passed to the teachers during the training workshop, and then the same topics were passed from the teachers to the pupils in the following trainings. Right. Okay, the training package was developed in a way that it could be directly accessed through a web browser. It was developed with Sphinx, which is based on Python and allows to produce dynamic documents which have lots of hyperlinks. The idea was to produce a document that was easy to be checked in order to move from one chapter to another every time that the topics were linked together. Then we have made the text available through Read the Docs. You will find the link at the end of the presentation, so the full training package is also available online through this platform. Let's go through the topics of the training package. This is the first chapter regarding data visualization with QGIS. As you can see, every chapter has a theoretical introduction, which is as short as it was possible, including figures that clarify what we are talking about. Here you can see, for example, vector data, how they can be extracted from satellite imagery, and how they can be translated into lines and polygons within a GIS software. Every chapter has, in addition to the introductory, theoretical introductory part, also the exercises. As you can see, the exercises are very much guided. Here you see a screenshot of the software with the parts that should be clicked in order to follow step by step the guides of the document, so that we kept as much as possible simple, following the exercises in a very, very guided way. So here we see how it is possible to load vector data and to show them with different types of legends and colors. We talk about also how data can be shared through the web. So here we see, for example, the introduction to the Geospatial Web Services. Again, we try to make it as much simple as possible, including figures. And we have also the practical part. In this example, we see how to load a web feature service inside the QGIS software. This allows us not to load only data that we store locally, but also data that are shared through the internet and can be loaded as a service within the software. So we can see other layers that we do not own on our computer, but that we can see and overlay to add other layers that we have available. As I said, we move also towards Earth observation and imagery analysis. So this requires an introduction regarding how this is possible, which is the technology that allows to observe the Earth from satellites and which are the types of data that we can get from it, and how, of course, we can process these data. You can see that throughout the documents we have boxes and hints and also suggestions for deepening the topics in order, as I said, to customize the use of this document. So if interested, it is possible to use also external links that allow to make a small exercise or learn more about a topic, depending on how much there is the interest in deepening. Also, the Earth observation has these hands-on exercises. The idea is to practice how to load the imagery, how to process it, to obtain products which are simple as much as possible, but not so simple in the sense that it is possible already to produce something which is relevant and to extract interesting information starting from satellite imagery. Here you see the examples that have been developed within the training package, which are monitoring lace trophic states, mapping crop types, monitoring crops vegetative stage, and also the availability of additional resources. Also, in this case, the exercises are very much guided. The last chapter regards crisis mapping. What are crisis maps? These are maps that are produced after a disaster, which can be natural or due to the man intervention, in order to assess the damages, for example, to see which buildings have been damaged or which is the flooded area. So the theoretical parts regarding how these maps can be produced mainly from satellite imagery are introduced. And in the following part, you have the exercise that is based on this topic. We have two main exercises, one which allows to produce flood maps for describing the impact of a flood event, but also how to produce maps after a fire event, and every step of the process is followed from the image acquisition to the processing. So we really hope that this training package can be useful not only for the GIS for schools schools that are partners of the project, but also for a much larger ensemble of schools. And so I thank you very much for your attention, and I leave the floor again to Alessandra.
Thank you very much, Daniela. Thank you very much. And again, if you visit GIS for School website, you can find again the link to download the handbook, and being available in multiple languages, feel free also to share it within your network. I mean, it's a very valuable material, and we're sure that it will definitely impact on the future learning of GIS and Earth observation in secondary schools. And now it's finally the time to discover the e-learning platform. And for this, I would like to introduce you to Emilia Budau. Emilia is a strategic urban planner at Urban 2020, Urba Sofia. Emilia holds a bachelor in urban and territorial planning, and she's also a master program in environment planning and resilience at the University of Venice. She has the role of junior project manager of EU projects, and she's also actively involved in implementation and design of European funded projects like Horizon 2020, Interreg Danube, and Erasmus Plus projects. Emilia, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Alessandra, for this introduction. So I will share my screen. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen.
We can, yes, if you close the visualization as presenter. Yes, okay. We can now, perfectly.
Can you see it? Okay, yeah. So yes, my name is Emilia Budau. I work for Urban 2020 Association, and I'm happy to accompany you through this walkthrough of the e-learning platform. So what is the GIS for Schools e-learning platform? It is meant to be a unifying technological tool that keeps all the different components of the project together, and that assures the transferability of these materials and of the overall process. We call it platform, but the truth is that it's made up of 4 different components. We will see each one of them. We have the Thinkific, in which there is the proper e-learning platform and course, the GitHub repository, the Zenodo community, and the eTwinning. We will go through these components, but we will not see the eTwinning because it's actually implemented by teachers involved in the project on a voluntary basis. And yes, the e-twinning is accessible only for teachers enrolled in high schools through Europe. So we developed this e-learning platform on different components in order to address specific target groups. For example, the GitHub component and the Zenodo component addresses a more, let's say, scientific community and technical target. The Zenodo scientific communities will be able to download the articles, the reports of the activities, and also the official materials that are developed throughout the project. And GitHub, we will see it's a repository in which the materials developed by the schools are available for example, professionals that are active in the field of GIS technology and data collection and so on. Whilst the Thinkific and the e-twinning are more for the teachers community, but also for the students willing to improve their knowledge about GIS technology and territorial systems, but also teachers from other schools. So the e-learning platform and this open source repository responds to the necessity of spreading the knowledge that we acquire through this project. And yes, make available the produced materials for future fruition, for replication, evolution purposes in different contexts. The first component I'm going to present is the GitHub repository. This is a hosting service which provides access control and several collaboration features and allows an orderly storage of the project materials into many folders. So this is the component with which the teachers interact the most. In which they have to upload their the results of their activities, the activities that they implemented together with the students involved in the project. And this gives the possibility of, well, let's say, contributing also to the results of the schools, downloading also the materials, and yeah, making available also for you, so you can also share what is going published on GitHub repository. We can see the repository here. This is the official page. We have a couple of information. I hope you can see the other page. Otherwise, please tell me. I changed the page.
We can.
Okay, thank you. So here you can see a couple of information about the GIS for Schools project. Of course, the number, if you want to look for it on, let's say, the official page of the GIS for Schools. And here, as you can see, there are 4 different repositories, one for each one of the schools, of the high schools involved in the project. We are going to see, for example, the repository of the Ion Neculce High School in Bucharest, because it's also the one we are following more directly, so I can really explain to you what is going on. Here you can see that there is a folder dedicated to the students' work, but also to general informations. So for example, if we go into the folder dedicated to the students' work, we can see the general maps, so the one elaborated by, let's say, the group of students, but also the individual maps. I already downloaded this file, so you can see what has been done. So it's just an example, but the Colegiul Național Ion Neculce of Bucharest focused on the change that occurred in the Danube Delta over the 30 years. So they analyzed the change in the components, so lakes, forests, settlements. Also, they use different techniques, the one that already Daniela introduced. So, for example, the supervised classification, these are all things explained in the training package. And yeah, they have been elaborated in a way that it's easily consultable by others. So we have a legend, we have a scale and so on. So students really had the possibility to interact with this kind of tools. Okay, let's go to the other component. The second one I'm going to introduce is the Zenodo community. It's a general purpose open access repository dedicated to publications and data provided by researchers. Everything that has been published in the Zenodo community is open access, so it's downloadable. You can share it, you can, well, just look at it if you want. It's also connected with the GitHub repository. So from this page, you can also go to visit the dedicated folders for each school. Yeah, it's what I want to say is that it's work in progress, meaning that it's already available, it's structured and so on, but it's going to be updated. Also, the GitHub repository is going to be updated by each teacher as soon as they have new results. If we want to see the Zenodo community, so this is the official page. Here as well, we can see a couple of more information about the GIST for Schools project, but also useful links. So to go to the GIST for Schools official webpage, but also the Thinkific page. And here we can see the results of the first and second webinar that have been implemented in support to the training package developed by the team of professors of Polimi. So the Global Vision Environmental Preservation done by our colleagues from Blue Bubble World, and also the other one which was focused on cities and climate change. So how does urbanization contribute to climate change? The promotional videos that are available here, but also on our YouTube channel, and also the GIST for Schools training package developed by the Politecnico di Milano. For each one of these components of these materials, brief description is available. And in this specific case, we have also the link to the interactive version, so the digital one. The version in different languages that can be downloaded, and they are in Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Romanian. And also the link to the Thinkific page, because we are going to see that this training package has been transferred into a more interactive course. And yes, here we can, probably these are more information that are interesting for us, but also for you. You can see how many people already interacted with these materials. Okay, let's go to the other one. So as mentioned, the e-twinning, we are not going to focus on this component because it's a platform for staff, for teachers, head teachers, librarians, etc., working in a school in one of the European countries involved. But if you have e-twinning, yeah, try to maybe look for materials for this project, because maybe teachers can, well, our idea was that teachers can maybe build partnership with other schools, with other teachers from other schools, and can maybe implement something together on the basis of what has been learned in the GIST for Schools project. And now the list, but the last but not least, actually the most important one, and the one that we are more proud of, so is this platform in which professors and students have the possibility to attend a course to learn about the contents created within the project. Currently, we have this course that is dedicated to let me see if I can, because I cannot see the other pages. Okay, here. So this is the official page in the Thinkific platform. As usual, a couple of information about the project. And currently we have just this course, which is the basics of QGIS, which has been constructed, as mentioned, on the basis of the training package. So if we access, for example, this course, we can see, brief description and the structure that it's really parallel with what Daniela already presented. So we have each chapter described by the professors that really developed it. So these two components are complementary. You can look for, let's say, more technical maybe information on the training package, and then really the explanation of this content by the professors in this course. At the end of each chapter or each paragraph, where possible, there is a quiz, multiple choice quiz, a very easy one, to understand and to also help you understand how much you get from the content that has been presented. And at the end of the course, it is possible to download the certificate of completion and of attending of completion of the course. Also, the new novelty is that we also built a community around this course, the GIS4 Schools community. We have already 121 people enrolled in this community, which is very nice. And here you have the possibility maybe to ask questions about the materials, or if you found out that materials are missing or it's not clear, you can interact with also the others here. This is not the only course that is going to be developed. Our idea is also to ask students to maybe make a small course about the materials that they are going to develop. In this way, we can also reach, let's say, a more young target. So this is our platform. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have questions, please, I'm here to help you understand our process. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Emilia. So now it's time for questions. So we open the floor. You can or you can directly raise your hand and I will give you the floor, or you can write your question in the chat. Otherwise, I can ask a question, for instance, to start. Oh, yes, someone is asking for the link for the handbook. Yes, we will send it to you here in the chat. There is Vivian Meta. Yes, so Vivian, I'm giving you, okay, you can ask directly your question now. And afterwards, Pavlos. Please, Vivian. Vivian, you can open your mic and ask your questions directly. Or Pavlos, if you want to go in the meantime. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Please,
Hello,
Pavlos.
I'm a teacher from Greece. Just want to know how can I download the handbook? It's I think this is the start of all of things we're seeing here.
Yes. So I'm sharing now with you in the chat the link to download to the form. As was said also, I mean, the handbook is available in 6 different languages: in English, in Italian, in French, in Portuguese, in Spanish, and in Romanian. And I think I said all of them. And of course, I mean, this is key because, I mean, it can help in, let's say, expand the reach of the
what I see
of the project.
is that there are many platforms. We need time to get used to this. It will take a time for us to get used to all these platforms, the Think, the Zenodo, the GitHub. Do you hear me?
Yes, I think Emilia can answer to this question regarding how much time is needed for let's say learning more about these platforms.
Yeah. Well, to learn about this platform, I think it's pretty easy. Let's say if you take an afternoon maybe to go through all these components, you get used to it. But for what concerns the course, it's pretty long. We divided the overall content in small videos for each one of the paragraphs or the chapters. The videos are about 30 minutes each, but we have something like the overall course that has been adapted in this format lasts 3 or 4 days. So it gets some time. It's something to be done. Yeah.
Thank you. One more question. Do we need to create an account to sign in somewhere?
For participating, enrolling in the course, you have to create an account in the Thinkific platform. Yeah. We will share the presentation and everything, and in the presentations you will see that there are the official links to access to the official pages in which you can also create your account.
Okay,
and once you create your account, all the contents in the course are available, but also you are going to be directly enrolled also in the community where you can ask questions and so on.
Okay, nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see a couple of comments in the chat. So one is from Pep Colomé. Thank you for your nice presentation and job. The website is translated to Catalan. Are there any plans to translate the app to Catalan too? And also the handbook? Are there any ways to contribute to this? I don't know who wants to take the floor, probably Lisa.
Yes, thanks, Alessandro. Well, of course, the handbook is translated into Spanish, not yet into Catalan. Anyway, the school involved in the project is the Yes Marc Ferrer from Formentera, and I understand that they also use Catalan in some way. So I don't know if maybe you want to get in contact with them. It could be possible that they also had some material translated into Catalan. So we can share with you the contacts with the professor from the Yes Ferrer, if you would like to.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Elisa. There is also another question from Benrazir Atara. I hope I pronounced it correctly. I hope there is also a platform for educators where there are exclusive resources like worksheets and quizzes that they can integrate in the curriculum. Who wants to say something about this? Emilia, you're muted.
Thank you. I think I can answer, but can you please maybe describe a little bit more what you mean by that? Because I think that the course we provide in Thinkific is already, well, it's not exclusive resources, but it can be integrated into your curriculum if needed. Because there are really, as mentioned before, also short lessons, 30 minutes. And you can ask, for example, students to do at home, I don't know, as homework parts of this course, and maybe answer the quizzes and yes, this multiple choice quizzes we propose, we suggest that at the end of each paragraph.
Then Razir, if you want, you can take the floor, so you have your microphone activated. So if you want to articulate on your question.
Okay. In any case, you have the possibility of like a discussion community. Yeah. Where educators can share their ideas. Well, there is this Thinkific community, and we can definitely start a discussion there together with the other teachers that are involved and are enrolled in the course and want to contribute to discussion. So if you have questions, you have also our personal contacts, but also this community in which we can interact with each other, but also with the others that are in the course.
Thank you very much, Emilia. I don't know if there are other questions. We have about 5 minutes or even something less. So Pep Colomé shared with us the contact, so we will put in touch with the teachers from Yes Marc Ferrer. I have one question for you all. In the meantime, if someone else wants to add something from the audience, other curiosities, please raise your hand. What are the expectations brought from Emilia, Daniela, and Elisa for this say, learning material? What do you expect, let's say, in the long term? So after the project will be done, so looking far in 1 year time, what do you expect? I don't know, wants to go first? Elisa.
Yes. Well, I think that the discussion that we are going to have now, we had this afternoon, is already a good start, because I mean, I see that this product stimulates feedbacks, inputs, and interest from teachers, but also different kind of people involved in the education sector. So this is our first objective in the short time, let's say. And as I said before in my presentation, in medium and long term, our objective is, of course, to build this informal community of schools, but also people belonging to different education organizations, in order to exploit these tools, but also to start, discussion, exchange of experiences, of view, and also other possible projects and cooperation. For sure, for the end of the project, which is June 2023, we would like to involve at least other 50 secondary schools in Europe in order to adopt this training package and to translate it and to integrate it into the curriculum of the schools. And in order to do that, we are going to launch a specific invitation to take part, specifically addressed to the schools. Offering different kind of opportunities of cooperation. So if you are teachers of a secondary schools or belonging to other educational organization, please be ready also for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Elisa. I don't know, Daniela or Emilia, if you want to add something, and then I have one question last question actually for today from the chat. So I don't know, wants to say something else.
What I would like to say is that I have two perspectives. One is medium term. You said long term, but in 1 year is long for the project, but not very long in general. So I really hope that other schools will adopt this work and will experience small projects, because there are lots of schools with very good willing teachers who try to do something which goes beyond the programs of schools. So to try to introduce this new software and to involve students to see that they can touch data and they can actually use them to see something which regards our world, and which is really interesting when you see, for example, the heat waves that you can measure, or the to plan what could happen in case of a flood. Another thing that I really hope is that in the very long term, this could become parts of the projects, of the programs of schools, so that they can not only study the theory, but start involving the practice that is available with the open source and free software. We have satellite images which are openly available, vector data like OpenStreetMap, which are openly available. So without any economical effort, just having the competencies to include these programs into the courses could really push forward the competencies of these pupils for their futures, and have them in our universities with already a background in this, and it would be really great.
Yeah, I'll just say a couple of words just to complete this round of expectations. I really share the what Daniela and Elisa said. So they hope that these materials are going to be used in the medium, long term, but also short term, because I see already in the comments that someone is already interested in integrating this kind of contents into their curriculum. So it's amazing for us. What I would like to see really is to see a community around these platforms, so specifically for the Thinkific and also for the other components that we created, in which we can start really discussions around how to improve these materials in order to reach more people, more students, and also why not primary schools, because I saw there is a comment about that. So currently it's not possible probably, but in the medium and long term, it will be really nice to be able to do with your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you to Emilia, Elisa, and Daniela. I have one very last point, because I think it might be interesting, especially for the, let's say, plans after the project will be over. So there is a geography teacher in Mexico, and he was wondering if it would be possible use, or at least leverage on the material or the output of the project with students of secondary high school in Mexico. So I think, first of all, this is very exciting, but I don't know, I mean, Elisa, if you want to say something on this.
Yeah, of course, definitely. First of all, you can use and exploit the resources already available, so the training package, the learning platform presented by Emilia. But maybe you can also, I mean, we will appreciate if you can also maybe send an email to us, and maybe you can check if, for example, some of the schools are working on a topic that could be interesting for your school. So maybe we can also establish a cooperation on that, a further cooperation on that. So if you want to share with your contacts with us, it would be very much appreciated. And just one very, very short comment, Alessandra, with respect to the teacher asking for if the material could be used from for primary schools. As Emilia said, this material was mainly addressed to secondary schools teachers, and also Vania, which is one of the professors from the Portuguese school, replied. In any case, we are also working on possible further, let's say, development of the projects, maybe focus on tools directly accessible from students. So also in this case, if you want to get in touch with us, please do it. We will be glad to maybe continue the discussion later.
Thank you very much, Elisa. Also, thank you, Vania, for answering in the chat. Vania, as Elisa said, is one of our teachers participating in the project from Portugal. I saw again there was another hand raised, but I lost again Vivian, who was the person who raised the hand. But I think we reached the time limit for this webinar. So I would like to thank again our speakers, so Elisa, Daniela, and Emilia. And thank also to all the participants. We hope that this was a very useful webinar and event for you to learn more about the project and to discover training package and e-learning platform. You can get in touch with us. We will be sharing presentations and the recording of the video on the GIS for School website. Thank you again, everyone, and I wish you have a nice weekend all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alessandra. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.